students, welcome to this third part of Introduction to Theoretical Linguistics. Last time we did with two parts. The first part was about phonetics, the second one is about phonology, and the third one is about morphology. So, what is morphology? Morphology is the study of internal word structure, or sometimes it is called word formation. So, morphology, introduction. Words we know form part of our linguistic competence, linguistic knowledge, which is competence. Competence is called by Chomsky called competence. This knowledge consists of words. So each word is a sound meaning unit, and each word is stored in our mental dictionary to constitute competence meaning unit. Each word must include other information. The dictionary representation of the word must include, if you go to the dictionary and you want to look for a word, you find that in dictionary it includes the pronunciation of the word, then the meaning and its synonyms. And the third information is the grammatical category, whether it is a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. Phonemes or morphemes. What we mean by morphemes? Morphemes is the minimal meaningful unit of language. We take some examples here. We have A, B, and B not. So, the meaning of the words in B, which are undesirable, unlikely, unadmired, consist of the meaning of the words in A, which are desirable, likely, and admired, plus not. So not here is represented by N, Each word consists of at least 2 or 3 meaningful units. We have, for example, if we take the first word N, desirable, it consists of N plus desire plus bull. Second one, unlikely, consists of N plus like plus Lee. The third one we have N plus admire plus D. So, those words, those meaningful units can't be further divided or analyzed. And they have grammatical meaning. So, they are morphemes. So what is a morpheme? Morpheme is the meaningful unit that can't be further divided, and it has a grammatical meaning or grammatical function. So each single word may be composed of one or more morphemes. We have an example here. If we take this example of undesirability. This word consists of an, desire, able, and et. So the morpheme may be defined as what? As the meaningful grammatical unit which has an arbitrary union of sound and meaning, form and meaning, and it can be further divided or analyzed. We take some examples of some morphemes here. One morpheme word. For example, we have the word boy here. It is a one morpheme, consists of one morpheme. Second, we have a two morpheme word, like bo plus ish, give us boyish. Sometimes a three-word morpheme word, like a boyishness. We add another morpheme which is attached to it. Four morpheme words, like gentlemanliness. It consists here of 4 morphemes. But sometimes we can have more than one morpheme in a word. For example, we have here this word which consists of ungentlemanliness. So it consists of ungentlemanliness, which are 5 morphemes. But sometimes we can produce, or we can form or construct a word with more than 4, 5, 6, 7 morphemes, like the word which is in front of us. So we have until, this, establish, meant, array, and easy. So if we take this word, it consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 morphemes. So we take the word establish, we can add to it this. We have establishment, anti-establish, anti-establishment, and until, we finish the whole. Types of morphemes. Morphemes can be bound morphemes, as we are going to explain later in the course. We can have free morphemes, can be free morphemes. It can be root morphemes, stem morphemes. Sometimes we don't make a distinction between stem and root morphemes. And we have affixes, which consist of prefixes, suffixes, and inflexes. Then we have ablaut morphemes, which is basically it is a vowel alternation. And then we have derivational morphemes and inflectional morphemes. So these types of morphemes, we're going to see them in details later. We start first with open morphemes and closed morphemes. We have first to make a distinction between what we mean by open class of words and closed class of words. Open class, which are nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, make up the largest part of the vocabulary of the language. And they are called open classes. Why? Because they have more or less independent meaning, and it is very common for new ones to be added to the lexicon. So we can remember when, for example, the word computer was, presented in languages or in other terms like mobile phones. So all these words which are nouns, verbs, can be added to the language. But the closed class, like prepositions, pronouns, articles, conjunctions, and form indicating the tense, the number, the gender, the case, are closed classes. Why they are closed? Because it's not easy to think of new preposition or pronoun that have been entered the language recently. So you can't, create a preposition and add it into the language, or even we can't remember when and which one was the first or the second, because all those are closed classes we can add or reduce in them. Bound and free morphemes. Bound and free morphemes. If we take these examples, unlikely, undesirable, gentleness. Morphemes like desire, like, desired, gentle, can constitute a word by themselves. They can stand by themselves. They can constitute a whole, complete meaning. They are called free morphemes. Morphemes like ableness can't constitute words, and they can't stand by themselves, but they are all the time, always part of the words. They are called bound morphemes. Root, stem, sometimes the base are the same meaning, sometimes the same meaning for the word or the morpheme root. We take an example here, re-election or re-elections. Re-elections, this word, some words are formed by addition one or more grammatical morphemes to lexical morphemes. For example, it can be called stem, root, base. It is the free lexical morpheme to which other morphemes are attached, either in the beginning, initial position, or in final position, or in the middle. So the verb, for example, elect, in this word which is elections, the verb elect constitutes the core or the heart of re-elections. So it is called root. Affixes. Affixes, the grammatical morphemes that added to the root to form larger units are called affixes. Those affixes can be prefixes, means the words that, okay, the morphemes that precedes three morphemes. We have an example here. We have the verb, the word play. We can add prefix re to give replay. Happy, somebody is happy, but somebody is not happy, is unhappy. Something that appears, but something can disappear. A form and transform. Label by label. So those are all re and dis, trans, by are called prefixes because they precede the three morphemes. Suffixes. Follows three morphemes. For example, if we take the word play, we add to it here. We have a player, happy, happiness, credible, sad, sadly. Those nis, iti, ish, and li are suffixes, and we add them at the end of the three morphemes. Infix. Infix, it's very rare in English language, and they are inserted within the word. Like an example here, we have a mother-in-law, and the word, for example, spoon, spoonful. So when we want to make a plural, we say spoons full, or passenger by, passengers by. But they are, as I told you, is very rare in English language. It is sometimes used in aggravating circumstances by emotionally aroused English speakers. For example, we want to say fantastic, we say fun, bloody, tastic. The add bloody in the middle, but as I told you, this doesn't exist a lot in the English language. About. About, it is a vowel alternation, or we call it a vowel change that carries extra meaning. We take an example here. When we say man and man, we have a sin and sin. So those, we have a change of the vowel from one word to another. As I told you, this also is not very rich in English language, but we take an example from English because we're dealing with language, okay, with the Department of English Studies. That's why we give an examples. But if we take ablaut, we find it a lot in Moroccan Arabic or in Arabic in general. In Southern Arabic, for example, if we take the stem kataba, we can take kitabun, maktubun, katibun, kutubun, kutub. So all these derived from the same radical, which is kataba, katibi, and we get, different words by just vowel change or vowel alternation. Now we go to grammatical morphemes. Grammatical morphemes are two types. We have derivational morphemes, comes from the word to derive, and we have inflectional morphemes, it is an inflection. What do we mean by those? Derivational morphology. Derivational morphology, it is derivation morphemes. When added to lexical morphemes, a new word is formed. A new word is, that's why it is called to derive one word from another word. Example here. If we take the example number one, we have neighbor, root. Number two, read, play. Number four, actor. And number four, kataba in Arabic. Kitab. So, derivation formations involve the derivation of the form using derivational processes. What are the processes here? We have like affixation in number one, neighborhood. In number two, replay. In number three, actor. But in number four, we have vowel alternation, vowel change. In Arabic, as I told you, it is very rich of vowel alternation. Like kataba, we can have kitab, katib, maktub, kutubun, maktabatun. So we can add derive more words from one one word which is category. The form derived is not necessarily of the same class as the root from which it is derived, but sometimes, you know, we keep the same grammatical category. Sometimes it changes the grammatical category, and this is what we're going to see next. Derivational formations. There are two types of derivations. It can be a class-maintaining derivation, which means that if we have a noun, it gives us also a noun. This is what we call class maintaining. It maintains the original class of the stem or of the root. The second one, we have class changing derivation. It can change the class or the grammatical category of the word. How? Class maintaining derivation. We take, you know, they don't change the grammatical class of the root. Like, we take an examples here. We have neighborhood, childhood, brotherhood. The morpheme hood is added to the nouns neighbor, child, brother. We get nouns. So, their syntax is similar to the same underived noun. For example, if we have neighbor, which is a noun, we add to it hood, we get another noun. Child as a noun, when we add hood to it, it gives us childhood. Brother is when we add to it hood, so noun give us a noun. Noun plus hood give us a noun. We have other examples we can take from prefixes, like example here we have rewrite, so we keep the same grammatical category, which is the verb. We have happy, unhappy, graph, monograph, exchange, autobiography, semi-final, subconscious, and more. So all these, they don't change the grammatical category of the word. In the suffixes, like we have those ones, Morocco is a noun, Moroccan, it gives us another noun, liberal, liberalist, music, musician, and economic, economic. Class changing derivation. Class changing derivation, if we take those examples, we have player, actor, and sadly. Those three, the morphemes ER, agent morpheme, is a class changing derivation suffix. When added to the verb, for example, the verb play here, we obtain a different grammatical syntactic class, namely the noun. So we have a verb. When we add to it ER, it gives us a noun. Act as a verb, give us actor, give us a noun. And the third one, we have said, which is an adjective. When we add to it li, it gives us another category, which is adverbs, and we have sadly. Inflectional morphemes. Inflectional morphemes. Inflectional morphemes, morphemes that denote tense, number, gender, and position, etc. They never change the grammatical category of the lexical morphemes to which they are attached, but they simply express its relation to other words in the sentence. So this is, you know, it shows, you know, the relationship of the words within sentence in syntax, as we are going to see in syntax. Inflectional morphemes usually produce different forms of the same word rather than different words. They produce different forms, but they don't produce different words. Example here, when we see in singular leaf, the plural is leaves. Write, writes. Run, run. So those, they don't change, you know. We get a different form, but okay, we usually produce different form, but we have the same in different, but we don't get, you know, different words. They are not given separated words in dictionary. If you go, for example, to look for the word live, you find with it lives, right and right. Okay? In English, there are 8 morphological inflections or grammatically marked forms. 8 in the language, and we're dealing with English because, as I told you, we are dealing with the Department of English Studies. That's why basically all or most of the examples we give are in English language. We take, for example, the S, se, the third person singular in present. She waits here. So we have the S here. It expresses the relationship between she, that it is singular, and we're talking about tense, which is, the singular, which is a present tense morpheme. ED, past tense. She waited at home. So ED, it is a past tense morpheme in English of regular verbs. ING form, progressive tense. It expresses progressive tense. It is a progressive tense morpheme, like she is waiting at home. ING form. In, which is a past participle as opposed to past participle we have seen with ED. This is for irregular verbs, like the verb we say, she has eaten the donut. Plural morphemes, like she ate the donuts, and we give it an S because it is plural. Possessive. Possessive, we have James here is long. So the S is the possessive morpheme, expresses the relationship between Jane and her hair. The ER, comparative. Her hair is shorter than Kate. But sometimes we have superlative like East, superlative morphemes. She has the longest hair. So in this case, or as what we discussed about the grammatical market or the morphological inflections, we have in English 8 morphologically inflections. So, if we look at this chart, it summarizes all what we have dealt with in morphology. So what is a morpheme? Morpheme is the minimal meaningful unit or grammatical unit that no longer divided or conquered, or divided. Morphemes can be free morphemes that can stand by themselves, and we have a bound morpheme that can stand by themselves. In the root, then we have the root. The root can be free morpheme, it can be free or can be bound. From the bound morphemes, we got affixes. Affixes can be prefixes, basic and suffixes. Affixes can be prefixes and suffixes. Then those affixes can be derivational morphemes or can be inflectional morphemes. In derivational morphemes, we have prefix and suffix. Prefix don't change or don't always involve a change of the word class, while suffix involve a change of word class. Inflectional morphology, they don't change inflectional morphology. We have in inflectional morphology, we have suffixes, and they don't basically change the word class of the sentence. So this chart summarizes all types which we have seen in the whole course, which as we have the bound and free morphemes, we have affixes, suffixes, prefixes, then we have the inflectional morphology, derivational morphology. All these constitute, the course we have dealt with in morphology and constitute the word in general. So in the end, what we can say, thank you very much for your attention from Professor Tourabi. Next time we are going to deal with syntax, inshallah. Thank you very much and see you next time.
إن أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والاشتراك في القناة.